Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica if you're new here. Today is my rolling project pan update. Welcome to September. I cannot believe it is already the 9th month of this year, flying by. And of course, I've just been swamped with back to school, with still last minute summer vacations, little weekend trip for Labor Day, and we're a few days late. But here is my update. I'm very excited to share with you how I've been doing on these items. In this project pan, I'm always working on 10 different makeup or beauty items to try and finish up or hit some kind of goal on it, mostly use up. But this is just a great way for me to make sure I am moving through my makeup collection, using what I have and not buying things that I don't need. It really puts things in perspective when you can see how many uses and how long it takes to go through a single makeup item if you are really just devoting that time to it. I've really been trying to curate my makeup collection over the past several years, and this project has definitely helped me to do so. I'm getting quite close to my overall goal of where I'd like my makeup collection to be. So if you're new to this series and you're just finding me, I'll go ahead and link the playlist for all of my rolling project pans right up here in the card so you can check that out. But if you're new to my channel and you want to catch up on my Butter's rubbing against my tripod. Butter wants to be in the video. This is where he wants to be. You know, he likes to just be my shoulder. It's hard to get anything done around here with this big old baby around. If you're new here, this is Butter, my sweet Siamese flame point, beautiful kitty. And if you need to catch up on my Rolling Project Pan series, I will have it linked right up here in the card so you can binge all of my panning videos from, gosh, years ago up until now. Enjoy. I'm trying to get to a movie tonight, so I gotta start filming this video. I'm gonna go through all these items and I have a lot of rollouts this month. Very exciting update. So if you're interested in seeing all of that, definitely stay tuned. And if you are new around here and you wanna stick around, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. And also recently hit 5,000 subscribers. So I want to thank every one of my subscribers, people who are watching today, for helping me to hit that milestone. I never thought that would happen. I mean, 5,000 is a pretty healthy number in my opinion. I really like that number. And I'm just really excited for myself and interested to see what else I could do with this little platform. It's fun to create these videos and I love making a game out of using my makeup because I just love makeup that much. And you must too, since you're here. So let's get into my update. First item is the Clinique Even Better Clinical Foundation. I have the shade WN46 Golden Neutral. And I thought this would be done this month, but alas, it is not. It has been in my project since January. And when I first brought it in, it was weighing 138.6 grams. I'm not gonna show you any videos for this one because the product clings to the side of the bottle so reluctantly. I will just tell you the updates for this as far as the weight goes. So when I first brought it in, it was 138.6 grams. Last month, it was 113.55 grams. I used it 21 times in the past month, and now it weighs 108.11 grams. So I went down 5.44 grams in just that 1 month. And I've now used this foundation 134 times, but we are still getting foundation out of there. As of last update, I thought that it was getting to the point where I wouldn't be able to pump it out anymore, but somehow I must have changed the angle of the pump or the product collected differently in like a different layer or angle at the bottom of the bottle. So I've been able to get some pumps out of this the past few times I've used it. I just kind of like tilted it aside and try and do just, you know, a little half pump. And a half pump is all I need of this foundation to get a nice full coverage. So this foundation is still hanging on for dear life. I thought I would at least be scraping down the sides with whatever brush I can get in there, but we are still not at that point. But I think next month is gonna be the month when this one is empty. I think very soon I'll need to start dipping in there with a concealer brush to get the remaining product out. And I'm already down just about 30 grams from when I started. So this is 1 fluid ounce. I think that should be about 30 grams, if not a little bit less. So there's a little bit more product in here than maybe 1 fluid ounce, and that's always a bonus, you know, great to hear. I'd rather have more than less, but that just means that I'm a little bit further from my goal than I thought I was. But I think next month is gonna be the month, and I will be very excited to roll this out. Even though I've actually now fallen quite in love with this foundation, it provides such beautiful coverage. It really wears gorgeous throughout the day. It never breaks up on the skin. It was a pretty expensive foundation for me. It was over $40 from what I remember. The shade was never quite right, but I found ways around that, and I have really been enjoying the quality and coverage that I'm getting from this foundation. So I would recommend it if you want a full coverage foundation. I feel like it minimizes pores and it just covers and lasts. So that one is staying in, hopefully not too much longer. Another item that I've had in this project since January this little pesky guy here, this little mini blush sample from the Balm. This is from their alternative rock line, and it is the shade Bare Minimum. So I'll go ahead and insert the videos here of what Bare Minimum was looking like when I first brought it into the project back in January. It was weighing 13.4 grams at that point. The progress on this blush has been so slow and barely visible, and it is just the blush that never ends. I can't believe I've been working on this for 9 solid months and I'm still at the point that I am with it. I think because the pan is so small, I'm basically dipping into the entire shape of the pan when I use my blush brush in there. So it's wearing down quite evenly, and we're just not seeing that dip that I would see in a larger size pan. Here's what this blush was looking like as of last month. I feel like you're finally getting to see like the depression in the product. At least I can see it in person. Maybe you can see it in the video. As of last month, it was weighing 12.68 grams. I reached for it 16 times, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it weighs 12.63 grams, so I'm down 0.05 grams, and I've now used this blush 162 times, and there is no pan in sight. I don't know when and if the pan is coming. Does this pan exist? This just might be the blush that goes on forever. I mean, of course, I realize there's got to be an end to this somewhere, but will we get there this year? I don't know. That remains to be seen. I'm hoping that maybe in the next 2 months, I should be able to hit this pan. I don't want to get my hopes up and think that it'll be next month, but maybe if I just really make a push on it, I can get it done by November. And then I don't think I'm going to use it up. My plan was to use it up. I just need to use other blushes as well in my collection. Although, you know, once I hit a pan, I'll really have an idea of how shallow the product is in there, and I guess I'll just reevaluate when that happens. But for now, this one's staying in, the little travel size blush that keeps on giving. It is a beautiful shade. I love a shade like this, peachy pink, perfect for every day. Love the warm tones. And for as much as I've used it this year, I don't hate it. In fact, I really like it. So, you know, I'm just a little sick of it. That's all. I just really want to see that juicy pan. Hopefully soon. And my third long haul torture item is from Cailyn. This is their Just Mineral Eye Polish in the shade number 5 Orchid. I brought this into the project in January with no intention of using it up entirely. I just want to see how much of it I can use during the course of this year and make a little dent in it. I've had this product for so long and it's barely gotten used, and it really is quite pretty. I've been using this on my inner corner most days that I'm wearing eyeshadow, and I do love it all over the lid, but I rarely reach for it that way. When I brought this into the project in January, it was weighing 16.6 grams. As of last month, it was down to 16.45 grams. I used it 12 times this month, and today it weighs 16.44 grams. So I'm down just 0.01 grams, 1/100th of a gram, and I've now used this 123 times. But let's keep in mind that when I use it, for the most part, I'm just getting out that little sponge tip applicator, which I think is actually quite useful and easy to use. So I just kind of dab it on that inner corner, and I'll kind of like spread it out a little bit, and then I just go in with my eyeshadow brush that I'm using and just kind of blend out so it's not too stark, and that's how I use it. So of course, even though I've used it 123 times this year, I've only gone down 0.16 grams. But I'm really happy it's getting used. It is a nice product, and I think once I get my full love out of it this year, I might declutter it. I just had it for so long, and I know I like it, but I'm never gonna go through this entire thing, and it just takes up space in my drawer. And it's not really an item I need in my collection. I have so many highlight shades in eyeshadow palettes that I can reach for that are just as shimmery and beautiful. Although, you know, this one is nice. It's subtle. I don't know. It's hard. Let me do a little hand swatch. Ooh, so reflective. Yeah, I really, really like it. So maybe I won't declutter it. You know, it doesn't take up that much space. Obviously, my brain is just all over the place today, if you could not tell. Next item is from Loreal. It's their Magic Perfecting Base, and this is one of their pore filling primers, which I really do love from the drugstore, but it's discontinued now. C'est la vie. Here is what this primer was looking like when I brought it into the project in February. It was weighing 65.16 grams. My original goal for this was just to hit pan on it, but I did that pretty quickly within the first 2 or 3 months. So I decided to just keep going on it and try and use it up completely since it was an older item in my collection. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 56.48 grams. I reached for it 10 more times. Today it weighs 55.56 grams. So I used up 0.92 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And as you can see, we are now completely empty. This jar has been scraped as much as possible, and this is now a rollout, which I'm very excited about. I knew it was going to be empty by this update, but I'm just happy I was able to get there. I love this pore filling primer. I don't always wear a primer, but this one I love for just putting in those little areas right around here where I have more pores or just larger pores, and I just like to conceal those, camouflage them just a little bit, kind of blurs them over, and I also will kind of dab it over my lines on my forehead, and I think it's just really seamless, pretty lightweight, it does its job, and I'm gonna be looking for a replacement for this. Some of you recommended the e.l.f. putty primer. I don't like that one. I've tried it. It just was a little too thick for me, or maybe I just didn't feel like it filled the pores in the same way that this one does. So I'm still on the lookout for another replacement drugstore price. I would consider buying the one from Tarte. I think I really like that one, but it's really expensive. And if I don't have to, I would prefer not to. So if you have one that you would like to recommend for pore filling from the drugstore or drugstore price that is not the e.l.f. primer, please leave it in the comments. I would really appreciate that. So in total, I used this primer 97 times and I used up 9.6 grams of product total. And that is our first rollout for the month. Next item is a lipstick. This is from Rimmel London. It is their Kate Moss line in the shade 32, and I've had this in the project since April. When it first came into the project, it was weighing 14.52 grams, but I've been making pretty steady progress on this from month to month, and it's been very enjoyable to use. I've used it as a lipstick, I've used it as a cream blush, and it's a little bit too light for me when my skin is more tan for the summer, but I've been able to mix it with other lipstick shades and get the shade that I prefer that way. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 12.87 grams. I reached for it 13 times this month, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it's down to 12.52 grams, so I used 0.35 grams of product. And as you can see, this bullet is empty. So exciting to see. I was down to that little nubbin last month, and here we are with that flat component. I did dig into it just a little bit for the remainder of the month just to get a few more uses on it, but now that we are here at this update, I'm gonna call this one good, and I'm so excited to have another lipstick out of my collection. I've really been working on honing down my lipstick collection over the past several years, and slow and steady has been the game, but I've been able to make some good progress in that department over the last couple of years, and that makes me feel very satisfied that I'm actually using all these makeup products that I have hoarded over the years. In total, I used this item 82 times. That's 82 applications to either my lips or my cheeks, and I used up 2 grams of product. Here's the drawing for the Rimmel Kate Moss lipstick, where we started, and then this little nub where we were last month, and now, as you know, we are down to the flesh. So I just love seeing those drawings. It just makes it extra satisfying, even more satisfying than the videos sometimes, and it's gone. Next is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Flawless Filter Primer, or sorry, that's the Charlotte Tilbury name. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, and it's kind of a primer. It's a glow booster, adds a nice little brightness and shimmer to your skin. Nothing too crazy. It's a beautiful product. I'm sure many of you love it as much as I do. It's a beautiful product. I'm sure many of you enjoy it as well, and I've been working on this product since May. Here's what it was looking like when I first brought it in. It was weighing 128.19 grams. As of last month, we were all the way down here. We'd used probably a good third of the product. It was weighing 120.42 grams. I reached for it 23 more times in the past month. Today it weighs 117.31 grams. So I've used 3.11 grams of product. And we've been able to make a nice jump and draw a new line. So we went all the way from here down to there, which is a bigger jump than I've been able to do in the last, maybe at least the previous month. So I'm happy to see some good progress on that. I've now used this 75 times, and I'm really going to push for this to be empty before the year is over. I think it's going to be a close call with this one, but if I just keep going at the same pace, I should be able to get there, I suspect. I mix this in with my foundation most days, especially when I'm wearing the Clinique Even Better Clinical. It just kind of shears it out a little bit, adds a nice little radiance to it, makes it a little more natural satin finish on the skin. So it's a great product for mixing in, and it looks beautiful by itself as well. So I'm loving this product. I think I'm gonna repurchase it when I go through this one, or maybe I'll try something new, but this one is so good that I think it'd be hard to find a replacement that I like as much for this price. But for now, this one is staying in. Next is the powder that I'm panning. This is from Kosas. This is their Cloud Set powder, and I have the shade Feathery, and I absolutely love this powder. The only reason I was in a hurry to pan it is because the little clasp broke, and I don't want it to make a mess and break apart in areas of my life. So I keep it like rubber banded in my vanity so it doesn't open up in there. But I just know that once the packaging starts breaking, it's only a matter of time before the hinge breaks, and you know, it all starts to fall apart. In fact, I'm looking now and I see like a little crack in the hinge right there. So we are counting our days with this one, and I'm just trying to pan it as fast as possible before we have a real mess on our hands. And I don't want to waste any of this product because I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful on the skin. It really blurs, dulls down any shine, but it does never, ever, ever looks heavy. At least I haven't been able to get it look heavy on my skin. So here's what this powder was looking like when I first brought it into the project in June. It was weighing 75.16 grams. Some of the progress on this has been pretty hard to see just as I've been wearing down that dome, but I have been using it pretty steadily since I brought it in June. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 74 grams. I reached for it 23 times in the past month, making for 43 uses total. And here's what the powder is looking like today. And as you can see, we have finally hit pan in that little terracotta bottom, and I was so excited to see that. I think it may have been 2 or 3 more uses after my last update that I saw a little freckle of terracotta pan in the center. But I was a little sad that it didn't come just a few days sooner, so I could have shared that little speck of pan with all you. Everyone loves a baby pan, right? Like the most adorable little types of pans. But we also love seeing a big fat daddy pan as well. We're not quite there yet with her, but we will be soon. I forgot to mention the weight. It went from 74 grams last month to 72.91 grams. So I used 1.09 grams of product, and I've used it 43 times total. And I have just been, again, enjoying it to the max. I use this to set my makeup all over my face just a little bit, and it really just sets everything down, reduces that shine, really does a nice job of blurring, and it's just a gorgeous powder. I would think about repurchasing this one as well. Despite the faulty packaging, you know, I really tried to be careful with this one, and still this happened, but I'm still enjoying the product. I'm still getting my money's worth, and this one is going to be staying in, and I just can't wait to watch this pan expand with you. Will I have this finished by the end of the year? Close call, tough to say. Maybe, maybe not. If I did, that would be great, but if not, I'll just continue to enjoy using it through January and maybe beyond. Next item is the lip liner that I am panning. This is from ColourPop in the shade Dohi. My goal for this is not to use it up entirely. I just want to use this lip liner 50 times and see what progress I'm able to make on it in those 50 uses. As much as I've been using this liner, I'm not seeing the rapid progress on it that I normally do for liners. Maybe that's just because this one hasn't been breaking on me like other ColourPop liners have in the past, but I'm really enjoying using it. It's kind of a summery shade, so we're kind of getting away from the season when this is a shade I really like to wear. So what I've been doing is putting this all over my lip line. Oh, look at that pretty swatch. It's such a pretty corally pink, and I love wearing shades like this in the summer. But what I've been doing with this, I do have it on my lips today, is I've just been going around my outer part of my lip, you know, lining my lips with the lip liner, as you do. And instead of filling in my whole lip, I'll just go in with like a more of a nude lip liner. Maybe I'll kind of like feather it in just a little bit on the inner part of my lips, and then I'll go in with a nude lipstick just to kind of mute it down a little bit. I'm still getting that kind of like bright pop on the edges and makes it more wearable for a work day. But I do like it by itself as well. Topped with the gloss, so pretty. Here is what it was looking like when I first brought it into the project in June. Progress visually has been pretty slow in all of these uses, but I am still making some good change on this lip liner. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 6.44 grams. I reached for it 14 times in the past month, and here's what it's looking like today. Today it weighs 6.08 grams. I've used 0.36 grams of product this month, and in total, I've now used this lip liner 28 times. And I did sharpen it just for this update. I was very flat and did my last application before this video and then gave it a nice sharpen for this update so you could, you know, get the maximum pleasure from all of that weight difference. I know that is so nice for all of you to hear. It's nice for me to see, so it's really for me. Okay, it's really for me. Okay, thank you. So I still have 22 more uses to go on this one. I have been drawing it in my book. So this is where we started, or at least where I started tracking it in June. And this is what I've been able to use of it in those 28 uses. So I'm not going to get near finishing up this lip liner during the course of this project, but I am happy to be reaching for it this year, and I'm that much closer to finishing it and maybe the following year, right? So a nice little chunk of it used, and that is positive. And I still have 22 more uses to go. And I think I can do that in the next like 2 months, hopefully, because we are getting away from the season of bright corally pinks. But I'm going to do my best to get those uses out while it's still appropriate. It's still 96 degrees here, so I can wear a summery lip, okay? Next is the lotion that I've been panning. This is just a random Taylor and Finch peppermint lotion that I bought from, I want to say, Ross last Christmas, and it's just been sitting around, so I wanted to get it used up in this project. Here's what it was looking like when I first brought it into the project in July. It was weighing 247.73 grams. As of last month, I was getting pretty close to the bottom. Here's what it was looking like last month. I was down to 162 grams. It's at 12 more times, including today, and here's what it's looking like today. I even cut it open and scraped out what product I could and used it all over my body this morning so I could film this video and share an empty with you. So that is my third empty for the month. Today it's down to 49.38 grams, so I used 112.62 grams in the past month, and in total I used this 18 times and used 198.35 grams of product. So I'm very happy that this is now not taking up space, and my medicine cabinet is a pretty big bottle, and I just don't go through lotion very quickly, so it's nice for me to bring them into painting projects to remind myself to moisturize my skin, because otherwise I just forget. So that is rollout number 3, yay. Next item is my NARS lip crayon in the shade Let's Go Crazy. This is another item that I don't plan to use up. I just want to use it 15 times. I brought it into the project in July, and here's what it was looking like. It was weighing 7.33 grams. As of last month, I'd used it 7 times. Here's what it was looking like then. It was weighing 6.57 grams. And during the past month, I just reached for it 1 time, and here's what it's looking like today. Today, it's down to 6.53 grams, so I used 0.04 grams of product in that 1 use, and I've now used it 8 uses total. Technically, I've used it 9 times, but when I put it on to wear it that day, I wasn't feeling it, so I took it off and put on something different. So even though I used it 9 times, I've really only worn it 8 times, so I'm not gonna count that use, but that 0.04 gram difference is really from 2 applications. So that one is staying in. I still have 7 more uses to go. Again, we are kind of getting away from the time of year when I want to wear hot pink lipsticks, but I'm still going to find a reason. Maybe I can wear it to a wedding I'm going to next weekend. It's such a pretty hot pink. I have so many hot pinks in my collection, and this is just another one that I would love to have empty, so I have just 1 less hot pink. So that one is staying in. Hopefully I can get it out in the next month. That's going to be hard to do. It might take longer. And the last item is my travel size or mini item that I always bring into my project. It's kind of like my 11th extra item, just to remind myself to use my travel size and minis that I normally forget about in some drawer or box in my closet. So I've been working on this hand balm from L'Occitane. I've just brought it in last month. It was weighing 11.47 grams. I used it 15 times this month, and today it weighs 1.84 grams. So I used 9.63 grams, and it is completely empty. This is another one that I cut up and emptied out just today. I used it my last little bit at work and scraped out every last bit that I could. It's a good hand balm. I did really enjoy it. And as you can see, I enjoyed it to the last drop. So that one is going out. And that means I have 4 rollouts this month: the primer, the lipstick, and then the lotion and the hand balm. So that means I have 4 more items to come in, and I'm really excited about them. They're gonna be a little bit challenging, but that's what I love about this project. So the first one you might be familiar with. This is actually from Kat Von D. This is her studded lip cream or studded cream lipstick, and in the shade Cathedral. I had this in my project at the beginning of the year. I rolled it out for the spring summer season, and now it's back. It's ready for fall. I'm gonna try and do my final push on this lipstick and use up the remainder of this product. So here's what this lipstick is looking like today. It is weighing 25 grams today. I do still have the little paper of where I was tracking it while I was working on this lipstick oh so long ago. But there it was when I brought it in January, and then we were down there in April, and now I've got just a little bit more than half to go. It's gonna be a hard one to use up. It's a very pigmented shade. It is a little bit of a heavier formula, but it's gonna be a beautiful shade for the fall. It was hard to wear this in the winter because it really stuck all over my Invisalign, but my Invisalign journey will be over very soon, and I think that this will just be a beautiful shade for every single day for the fall. And if I don't finish it up completely, at least I think I will get close. We'll try it as a blush. We'll do what we can. That is the first one rolling in. Don't think I'm too crazy. I'm also bringing in a second lipstick because this is in my list of items I want to pan this year. So this is like my last ditch effort to get it into a project and use it up. It is a lipstick from CoverGirl. This is the shade 250 Sultry Sienna. And this is such a pretty nude. It's actually a really nice fall nude. It's like kind of cool, but not too cool. And I just think this is going to be so easy to have in my purse. It's like my everyday shade, just to put it on over any other lip color that I'm already wearing, just to kind of hydrate it, smooth it out a little bit, or just wear it by itself. I've been wearing it with Dohi, and it works quite nicely together. I think that's actually the combo I have on today, definitely. And we'll see what I can do with it. I have it drawn right here in my book. So we've got about the same amount that I had in Cathedral. There's Cathedral right there. And it's such a nice, soft formula that I think it should go pretty fast. And I'm excited to have another lipstick empty if I can do it. I think this one is actually gonna be easier to finish than Cathedral. So if I focus on this one a little bit more, I'll just, be happy to get 1 empty rather than like 2 that are almost empty. You know what I'm saying? So that is the next one rolling in. And now I have 4 lip products in this project. Yes, this project alone. You know I love my lip products. Next is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is their Magic Vanish Color Corrector, and I have the shade 2 Medium. This has a pan in it, and it's a cream product, and it's an expensive cream product. So I want to try and use this up before the year is over, just because it's getting old. I don't want it to go to waste. This is not really an item that I need in my collection anymore, I don't feel. So it'd be nice just to have this one used up and have one less thing in my makeup inventory that, you know, I have to think about and reach for. I like a color corrector. I just don't know if it's a necessary step for me. If you just have a good concealer, normally that's coverage enough, and I don't really need that deep color correction, at least not at this point in my life. Maybe if I have a kid someday and I'm not sleeping for days at a time, maybe I'll need some color corrector. But for now, I think it would be great just to get this item used up and make sure that this cream gets loved and enjoyed while it is still good. So that was number 3 rolling in. And the last thing we're rolling in is my little mini travel size item. And I have been loving this item. So it's kind of a little bit of a cheat that I'm bringing this in because I've basically been using it every day anyways. But if I use this up, that's one less primer in my inventory in January. So this is the Ciate Vitamin Boost Plumping Primer. I absolutely love this primer. It is so moisturizing. I put this on under my SPF in the morning and it just plumps my skin up so nicely. It really does feel like it's giving my skin a nice boost. And I don't know why I never hear about this. No one talks about Ciate, but this was sent to me from Sarah Rose. Sarah Rose from Sarah's Beauty on YouTube sent this to me in her little grab bag that she was so generous about. And it was brand new. It had the plastic packaging on it and everything. And I just reached for it one day when I wanted like a hydrating primer, and I just couldn't believe how beautiful my skin looked afterwards. And I feel like it just like really radiates my skin throughout the day, even just adds that extra plump of hydration that my, aging skin needs sometimes. So I'm excited to use this up. I don't think it's gonna be hard for me to do. Maybe in like a month or 2, I should have this empty. Here's what it's looking like today. And I'm just gonna enjoy every little drop of this. And I would consider looking at the full-size item, maybe bringing that into my collection. So that is all for my Rolling Project Pan update this month. So many exciting rollouts and new things rolling in. This is our last push for the year. I have September, October, November, December. Oh, I guess I have 4 more months. Why did I think I had 3 more months? So I have 4 more months to finish up as many of these products as I can. And I think with a lot of them, I should get very, very close, if not meet that goal. So it's gonna be a great remainder of this year for panning, and I hope you all are here for it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you for 5,000 subscribers. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a quick thumbs up before you leave, and go ahead and leave a comment. Say hi to me. Give me a recommendation. I love hearing from you. I'm sending my love out to you wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing well, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. But until then, take care. Bye.